Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a great weekend out there. Today we're going to talk about the top 5 things I love about the Toyota Tundra. So stick around. Okay, so before we get started, I just wanted to give a big thank you to Galt Toyota and Frank Ford, who is one of the managers there. He hooked me up with this hat, this shirt, another hat that I have inside, and this truck. I bought the truck from Galt Toyota. I just want to thank them for all their support, and they've really helped get this channel off the ground too, along with a couple other dealerships along the way. So thank you guys. But now let's get down to business. I made another list so I didn't forget anything. Before we go any further, just so you know, today is the top 5 things I love about the Toyota Tundra. That doesn't necessarily mean anything TRD Pro related. This is the Toyota Tundra, just the truck. Doesn't matter what trim. I've owned 4, so I'm kind of going back to the first truck I had to now, and kind of comparing, contrasting of over the years what I've loved about it. And this is a good this would be a good video for someone who's thinking about getting a new Toyota Tundra that doesn't necessarily know too much about it. Here's some of the things you can come to expect. So the number 5 thing, and we're going in order from 5 to 1. So the number 5 thing I love about this truck is the driver space. So the driver space it's really open. It's not tight. I've had a couple Jeep Wranglers where the driver space was so tight it was almost uncomfortable to drive long distance. You get a lot of hip room. I believe this has the most hip room in its class, which is cool. And if you get anything SR5 and up, I think it's the SR5 upgrade package and up, you get the center console, which is really cool. It separates you from the passenger, and I am not a big fan at all of just like the bench seat where it's open here, because too much stuff. If somebody has a bottle, tips over, it rolls under your feet, you're trying to control the car, not a good thing. So number 5 for me is definitely the driver space, and I love the center console, and the floor mounted shifter is fantastic. Okay, so the number 4 thing on the list is durability and reliability. Now when it comes to reliability, that's what Toyota's all about. That's what their name is built on, having reliable vehicles. Durability wise, you know, the engine's great, the truck's great, there's no rattles or shakes on the interior. Everything, it's built well. It's a truck that's built extremely well. All of the Tundras I've had, and I've had a Tacoma before the Tundras, all were great. They didn't have any shaking, any issues on the interior at all. No panels were coming loose, seats always worked, no tears. It was great. Body panels line up great. Yeah, so number 4, durability and reliability, and that goes a long way in today's day and age. Actually, funny thing about the Tundra is you can get a well-equipped Tundra for thousands of dollars less than what you would get a Ford at that same class or at that same trim level, and you're going to end up with a better vehicle in the long run. So definitely something to look into. So the number 3 thing I love about the Tundra is the trim level options. You get a lot of options. You know, you get the good stuff. There's off-road packages across the trim levels, discluding the Platinum, which I hope one day Toyota will make a Platinum Tundra with the TRD off-road package. I know they have the 1794, which is even par with it, but the way the Platinum looks is fantastic. If it had the TRD package, that'd be great. So the trim levels are fantastic. One of my issues with some of the other brands is there's too many options. There's too much. To go to pick out a truck, like if you were to sit down at a computer and actually like, oh, okay, I'm going to build my truck now, you'd get lost. You'd give up. You'd end up in like a Honda Accord. So I like the fact that Toyota's made it easy. You know, you get your trim levels, comes with stuff, you can add what you want to it, but it's not crazy. There's not 53,000 options per trim level. It's perfect. The truck's built fine at the trim level you get it at, and just adding those couple things to make it the way you want it, it's perfect. You don't need 53,000 things. You know, I mean, some people care about like the different axles you can get because they're towing and things like that, but if you're just an average Joe looking for a truck, you're going to be happy with the axle that a truck comes with 90% of the time. So that's number 3 for me. All right, so now we're down to the top 2. The number 2 thing for me, I love the fact that the sport manual mode is real. Some cars out there and trucks have manual modes that are placebo. They don't really shift the gears when you want them to, or they're very slow to react. This one here, and in the other trucks I've had, it's real. It will hold that gear until you shift it. Awesome. And it actually helps with towing when you can actually shift your own gears if you want to do it. But the sport manual mode is real. I highly recommend using that sometimes, especially when I have a TRD intake and dual exhaust, and in low gear it can really pull. It's a lot different than just being in the automatic. So definitely try it out. Something to look for. And the number one thing I love about the Toyota Tundra is the 5.7 liter I-Force V8 engine, mated with the 6-speed transmission. Now, a lot of other companies have moved on to 8-speed transmission. Ford Raptor's about to come out with the 10-speed transmission. I like the 6-speed transmission. I love the way that this engine and this transmission work together. This truck has a lot of power. Sure, you do give up some in the MPG, but it's a truck, it's powerful. It's almost like a sport truck, the way that the power is delivered. Couldn't be happier. That's the combo I like, and I know next generation Tundra most likely will have an 8-speed at least transmission, but I'm happy with this. So if you are looking at engine options for the Tundra, you get the 4.6 or the 5.7, really consider the 5.7 because it's just fun to drive. Sports cars are fun to drive. This truck and the Toyota Tundra with the 5.7 engine is fun to drive. So that's my top 5 right there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. There will be a follow-up, 5 things I dislike / hate. There's not much I hate, but I got to use the word. So stay tuned. That'll probably be later this week. Thanks for tuning in. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TundraDude34, and I will talk to you soon.